Call me Steve Urkel. Call me Steve Urkel. Yes, baby.
All right, then. Hello and welcome back.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've recorded, hasn't it?
It's been a week.
Yeah.
That's a long time for us.
Yeah, because, I mean, technically it's supposed to be a weekly podcast and all that jazz. But, yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
Some life things have come up. A lot of busyness.
Yeah, in general, I think you've been a lot more busy recently. Which can be a good thing. More money.
Stacking that cash flow, homie dog.
God. Yeah. Also, hopefully the audio should sound better than it normally does because I have a different microphone that, is less echoey.
It works.
It works.
Now, hopefully my audio is exactly the same as it always is, because I'm using, and I know, audience, this is going to surprise you.
This is
I'm
a
using
trade secret.
The same mic that I've always been using.
Yeah.
I have not changed it. I will not change it because I am a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's fine. It works. It's sufficiently sufficient.
It's sufficiently terrible.
It's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad. At least it's not fucking iPhone headphones, bro. Like,
it's better than iPhone headphones. I agree. Yeah. Also, I was telling you earlier, but I want this episode to be a bit of a reset. We've technically not counting the solo episode that I did. This will be our 11th episode. So we're in the double digits. Woo.
That's good.
Yeah.
We've done it. We've made it.
We've not made it. Actually, I wanted to mention before we get started that, first, the obvious, that the music that we're using in this podcast is not ours, and you can find it in the description below. And you should check it out. It's pretty good music, in my opinion. I enjoy it a lot.
If you don't check it out, I will find you, and I'll make you listen to it.
Just grab the headphones and just hold it on their head, duct tape it on.
I will drill the headphones into your head.
Oh boy. Okay.
Can you say lobotomy?
God. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that as of right now, Apple, because at the beginning, when you're a new podcast, you get put in the new podcast section, which makes it easier for people to find you. Right now,
Apple makes you a homie.
Yeah, Apple's cool and they promote you for a minute, but now we're no longer
homies.
Yeah. Now we are no longer being put in the new section because we're like over a month and something, and that means that our views have dropped.
That means watch us more, damn it.
Watch us more, always. But also, I would suggest sharing it. Just spam it at people, like as a meme. Just like throw a link at them if they're like doing something annoying.
It, maybe show a friend or something. That'd be
also, that's
cool.
an option. Yeah, I know that like.
I know Adrian wants you to just spam it. Please don't. If you like it enough, just show one of your buddies. I would appreciate it, at least myself. It's a fun time for me. It's a fun time for him. If you like what you hear, just hang out with us, Grab a drink.
Luckily,
do something.
when you grab a drink with us, basically. That's the podcast.
Grab a drink with Adrian and Austin. We're the coolest guys. That cool.
But yeah, luckily our views didn't drop to 0, so hey, that's a good thing. Yeah. But they did definitely go down. So hey,
maybe I still listen to it sometimes. Damn it,
you don't. I know that you don't. I don't think you've listened to basically any episode since like the first one. Yeah, and I'm not even sure you've like fully listened to the first one. But
no, I did. Maybe.
But yeah, so that's where we're at with the podcast right now. It's not bad, but it can be better. We're trying to figure out how we can promote it a bit more on social media and stuff. And we might like do a collab at some point here, but right now
I'm gonna start just promoting it in the Pornhub comments. Maybe that'll do it.
You know what? I think that would work.
I bet you it probably would.
Didn't you want to go and look through like Pornhub titles?
We're gonna do that a different episode. That's not today.
Oh, damn it! Well, also just being a bit of a tease. No, but I already have Pornhub pulled up, so you know.
Oh. Oh, fuck. They have the best titles, though. They're funny.
They do, and the comments are also pretty dank.
Yeah,
isn't there like a Reddit for it?
Yeah, there's a subreddit for
I'm not surprised.
Pornhub comments. So basically, it's a lot of, just really funny shit. My favorite one that I saw was, bro, I think I dated that girl a few years back, and then the person who made the video goes, John?
Nice.
It was so funny, dude.
That's pretty good. I was expecting more along the lines of, because I've also seen one similar that's like, oh, I think I fucked her at some point or some bullshit like that, and then it's like, well, she's taking bigger dick now. That's like the other response that I've heard to like something like that. But yeah,
that's pretty good though. That's a pretty good response.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Oh god. Oh no, I am on Pornhub. Old horny granny, and also it has 69% like ratio. I kind of love that, even though it's
very
not
upset
garbage.
By that.
I know.
That's like the worst kind of thing.
What, old people?
The old people kind of, yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously, like, they can be sexually active or whatever, but I really don't want to see it. Like, you do you. Keep it away from me.
Know how to think about old people looking at old people on the internet banging.
Yeah.
It really makes me uncomfortable, and I hope it makes everyone hearing me say those words very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh god,
because it's really weird. I figured at that point nothing works. You know,
something that I do really appreciate that when you like hover over a video on Pornhub, like you get a little preview
and it lets
of
you
it.
See a little bit, yeah.
YouTube doesn't really do that very well. Like Pornhub does it better.
YouTube Mobile just plays like the beginning of the video and gives you subtitles.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's okay for me. I mean, because if the very beginning of the video is a little bit interesting, maybe I'll actually click on it. Like if it's not like of my normal, viewing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like that feature. That is pretty much a must if you have a streaming kind of site. There is like, let me see just a bit of a preview of what you got going on. Maybe I'll watch it.
We should have like released like a little trailer for the podcast. That would have been a good idea. I was actually because I remember.
You want me to throw together a trailer, like an epic action movie trailer for it?
Maybe. No, but what I was referring to is like I saw somebody on like a subreddit the other day asking about like, well, I want to post my first episode on this date. How can I like coordinate that? And my response was like, well, I don't really think that there's a very good way, because the way that it works is that you have to get verified by Apple and by Spotify and wherever else you're posting it. So that means that you have to wait for them to like do that.
Listen.
Yeah, so you have to like upload your first episode. But the thing is that if you upload your first episode, it will come out like on different dates on different platforms, because like some take 5 days to review it and others take 3, or some do it the very day of.
Yeah, so some do it in less than 30 minutes because apparently they're good. Apparently.
But it can get messy, so then I was like, wait a minute, there is something that you could do. You can just upload a snippet, like a compilation of like little like bits of it, and just go, oh, this is our podcast trailer. And I'm pretty sure they'll actually take that. Me
laughing in high-pitched form, and then that's our trailer.
I can pitch it up. Give me a good little laugh so I can pitch it up right now. I'm pitching that shit up. Perfect. Thank you. Hell yeah.
No, don't like use that as a pitch.
I'm gonna pitch that shit up until you sound like the worst.
Yeah, I am the worst, and I know it. I'm literally sitting here playing Final Fantasy X while we record a podcast.
I'm still scrolling through Pornhub titles.
That's fine.
Extreme Deep Throat compilation.
And I'm
also 69% like ratio. I kind of like that that Pornhub does give you the like ratio. I wish YouTube did that. That'd be fun.
Yeah. It'd probably be very friendly to content creators, honestly, because then they'd want to fucking do shit.
Yeah, or the meme comments that people put on Pornhub of like, oh yeah, I've really been liking this new platform. It's a lot better than YouTube, but I can only find porn.
The best comment.
I have seen streamers actually on here that aren't like just porn. It's kind of funny.
Call Me Carson has a Pornhub account.
I don't know who that is.
I brought him up. No, I brought him up to Josh actually. He's made a few videos. He's not like the big. He just hit 1 million subscribers like
nice.
Maybe a few months ago or something, which is cool.
Congrats to him.
And he's been streaming a lot on Twitch, and he posts a lot of the highlights on his second channel. But he brought up on his second channel in one of his Minecraft streams. He goes, "Yeah, I do have a Pornhub. You guys should go check it out." And it's literally just Call Me Carson PH for Pornhub.
That's pretty good though, man.
Yeah, it's really funny.
He uses
the same picture, just his gross fucking like really funny looking face. I love him. He's so funny.
Nice.
I mean, if I were to ever want to sponsor anybody ever, it would definitely be Call Me Carson. That kid is a fucking joke, and I love him.
Good shit. That reminds me, you mentioned that you wanted to talk about like...
actually, let's talk about YouTubers. Who do you usually watch on a day-to-day basis?
Unsurprisingly, you can actually, why don't you go first? I think it would be better for you to like tell us like who you watch on the regular besides
who
PewDiePie.
I watch because I watch it so much.
Sure.
So you already said the first one is PewDiePie. I don't watch him daily anymore unless like it's a really interesting title.
Yeah,
a lot of longer videos I kind of
on.
stick away from. And Lil Y I basically just don't watch because he's just going through memes I've already seen, and a lot of them are just
you're a lot more
karma
in there.
Or is just trying to get karma. That's all it is.
Sure.
Done with that. So I don't really watch Lil Y's. I don't know. It's certain videos with PewDiePie. I still really like him as a content creator. Whatever everyone does, obviously. I watch. I just brought up Call Me Carson. I do watch him a lot more recently, mainly because he does a lot of his streams and his highlights are all from Minecraft, and I love watching Minecraft again for some reason. I've just been so into it again.
It's had a resurgence, definitely.
Oh, very heavily. It's because it's good.
It is a good game.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of that, and they do like fun shit in it. Like I don't really understand their whole motive or what they're going for because I don't watch the streams that much. But like the highlights, it's funny as fuck because a lot of what they do is they'll all like him and his buddies will all have a separate motive in trying to get something done throughout their whole playthrough. And people watching the stream could donate to put a hit in on a different person. So like Carson will be in the mines mining, and all of a sudden a guy named Alltribe will come down and just kill him and go, "Yeah, I got paid $10 to do that."
That's awesome.
It's funny, dude.
That sounds like a good time.
I love it. It's so funny, and they just like constantly are fucking with each other. But like like it's obvious that they're friends.
Yeah,
but like they have this whole situation of like, yeah, I definitely hate everything that you do.
That's pretty good.
Like, your existence is pissing me off very hard.
Yeah, that's rad. I love that like when they do that whole thing of like interaction and stream through like it sounds a bit like money hungry, but like through like getting donations.
Well, that's part of the entertainment. That's why people stream.
Yeah.
Like I get, people stream to entertain. If you donate, it gives you a chance to give them the idea of what to do to entertain the audience. And that's why I see it as a positive. Like, it used to be back in the day, donations were just like, grab money, grab money, grab money. Now it's like, well, he's obviously going to see this one. Like, it's hard to look through chat because so many people are going to be posting it once if you're a bigger streamer. Like, you could look at it, but you're doing shit too, It's like looking at your texts while you're playing games. It's not something you do that easily unless you just only look at your phone. And then you're just bad at playing games and nobody wants to see that. So, like, you look through chat, that's already hard enough, whatever. When they donate, you obviously see that. You have to appreciate it, and, I mean, he doesn't always do that, which is funny. He really is into just fucking with his friends, is what I appreciate about him. A lot of what he does isn't really to get donations. People who donate, that's more on them than anything. But, like, that whole, like, put a hit on a person in the middle of the game, that's interesting to me. I like that.
It seems like he's making content more for himself than anything else. Like, because he enjoys it, sort of deal.
Yes.
That's always a good
it's
time.
Exactly how it feels, too. Like, a lot of his laughter and stuff doesn't feel very forced. Like, there are things that you can tell he does just because it's funny. Like, he does a dab and hits his elbow on the desk. But that's funny.
Sure, yeah.
He got angry one time, and one of his buddies goes, well, take it out on your bobbleheads you have there. And he smashes one on the head and busted the head off of it.
Hell yeah.
It was funny. Like,
yeah.
It's a cheap bobblehead. Who cares? Like, it's $5, whatever. But, like, shit like that is entertaining. And, like, I bet it's entertaining because he just likes doing it, you know?
Yeah, that's always the thing. Like, people enjoy seeing other people doing things they enjoy. I phrase that terribly.
You did, but it's, to an extent, like, the way I'd put it is a lot of people on the internet that, like, and it's not to, you know, this is never to put people down or anything, but, like, people that don't want to put themselves out there and they don't want to make content, or they just, like, they like to lurk and just watch stuff, they can, to an extent, live, like, vicariously through whatever they're watching and be like, well, this is funny because I can put myself in this situation, too. Yeah,
I feel it's especially true for, like IRL streamers or like bloggers. Like, that's, you're just watching somebody who probably has a better life than you, because considering how rich they are, you know.
That was everyone who watched like Ice Poseidon's stuff and all that. That'll probably
don't know who that is.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. He got like seized by the FBI or some shit. He's
boy.
literally the fucking dumbest streamer I've ever seen in my life, but that's only my opinion. Don't shit on me for that, just because some idiot runs a Ponzi scheme and gets raided by the FBI. Oops.
Ponzi schemes, yeah.
Oops.
Oh, have you heard of a...
He was running a Ponzi scheme, but he said it wasn't a Ponzi scheme, but it's a Ponzi scheme. And he got seized by the FBI, so you tell me, was it illegal or wasn't it?
It was probably illegal. But,
yeah, the FBI doesn't just kick down your door unless you're doing something.
Or you're a streamer.
That's the SWAT team, not the FBI.
That's a good point. That's a SWAT team.
That's
you're right.
That's a different whole thing. Like, a SWAT
I'm not
team
American,
is like,
man. I mean,
the SWAT team's like, oh, somebody's literally in danger, about to die, about to be murdered, whatever, there's a bomb, something, something, something. The FBI is like, you're doing something a little bit more fucked up, and you're making too much money off of it.
Yeah. I remember there's actually, because I've, like, scams are interesting from an outside perspective in a weird, morbid fashion. And
what do you mean?
Like, scams, like different, like, Ponzi schemes and, like, multi-level marketing. I thought you said scans. Oh, scans. Scans are also very entertaining. But no, I'm talking about the scammy stuff. But yeah, there's some actually pretty interesting stuff, like, about that. Like, obviously, you look at it through the lens of, like, this, like, morbid curiosity of, like, how all these people, like, get in these things. Same thing with, like, looking about stuff about, like, cults and stuff like that. But I recently found this podcast, which I'm going to recommend because it's actually pretty good. Someone else recommended it to me, and I surprisingly enjoyed it. It's a bit of a documentary-style podcast, and it's called, what is it called? The Dream, or something like that. And basically, it's people that, like, get into these scams. Specifically, they're talking about the pyramid schemes, which are now, the modern pyramid schemes are MLMs, multi-level marketing, which they deny vehemently, but, you know, it's a thing. And so therefore they, like, talk about, like, oh, where it originated, and they even have, like, an interview with this lady that was running one in, like, the 80s or something like that. And it's pretty entertaining. I definitely recommend it.
That's also something that I kind of look at. Like, we got a lot of these people just, like, putting their name out there. A lot of people getting big and famous just on the internet. In the future, like, when you and I are, like, a lot older, how do you think these people are going to be viewed? Like, what do you think is going to go on 50, 60 years from now?
Yeah, like, imagine
and a textbook is rewritten, and we have this whole, like, thing about the internet coming in out of nowhere and how it's been such a massive, like,
do you think there's going to be history books about how the internet came?
Yeah, dude, there are. Probably
I want to see
books.
PewDiePie
it'll
in a
be
history.
On the fucking internet.
That's true.
Is the thing.
That's true.
And, like, it's going to be, because they're going to have some form of, like, obviously in school, they're going to have a form of media where they're going to teach you history. It may not be a book anymore.
Sure.
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you.
Books are already getting replaced a lot.
Yeah, they're gonna have just like links on the internet and say everybody go to this link. We're gonna read through this, and then you're gonna have like obviously your old ass history, ancient history and stuff like that.
Yeah,
here
stuff that you always have to
US
learn.
history and all that, and then we have world history and stuff like that. Then they're just gonna have like modern history. Or it'll just be like U.S. history, but from 2019, and it'll be 2100. And people will be like, "These guys really drank bleach and ate Tide Pods."
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The thing is that also it's very interesting because now we're changing stuff a bit, because before information could be lost. There was somebody I remember coined the term of information entropy, which is basically the idea that over time information gets lost along the way, basically playing telephone, and obviously the ancient textbooks get burnt or they fucking get lost or something happens to them sometimes, and we just lose a lot of information. And so now this is very different because we have detailed records, video records of a lot of occurrences now. And it
doesn't
really
matter
going to be interesting to see how that
from
happens.
the internet, because people have it saved on hard drives too.
Of course. To put an example of a YouTuber, if a YouTuber decides, I've been in a controversy, I'm going to delete a video, there will be a lot of re-uploads because people are now downloading some of that stuff.
Filthy Frank, this isn't a controversy one, but Filthy Frank has a lot of older videos that he had to delete or he deleted for because of YouTube controversy.
Yeah, of course.
YouTube itself was, your channel will be demonetized because of these specific videos, and so he got rid of them, which is fine. People have re-uploaded those in fucking waves.
Hell
because,
yeah, of course.
We still want to see it. We just don't have to see it on his channel. It's fine. These channels that will re-upload it, whatever views they get, take them.
It's worth it to give them the view because, it's just, it's good content, and it's not like he's really doing anything with that channel anymore. He's sort of left to, this sort of, relic, this, drop of the past.
There's a new man doing Filthy Frank stuff.
Really?
We've talked about this a little bit, I think, but there's a new man doing Filthy Frank stuff. And at first, people were very much against him and did not like him at all.
Yeah, because people see him as a rip-off and everything.
Was going to be another Filthy Frank rip-off and blah.
Yeah.
This man is so Filthy Frank meta, it's disgusting. It's like he actually is Filthy Frank. It's like fucking Joji said, "Oh yeah, let me just rip this soul out of my stomach. Here you go. Have my Filthy Frank." Yeah. And this kid just does it, dude.
Huh. That's
After the podcast, I'll link you a couple of videos. If you've seen original Filthy Frank stuff and you look at what this kid does, I was surprised. The first few videos, whatever, then he came out with a song and I'm like, what the fuck?
Was it any good?
Yeah.
Nice. That's nice.
It was great. It was exactly what I would have expected the old Filthy Frank to come out with too.
Cool.
I was very happy with it. I'm extremely satisfied with the brand new Filthy Frank, the second coming, the white Franku.
Sure.
I'm alright with it.
It's kind of interesting how people are like, oh no, you can't replace Filthy Frank or copy him. Or even a lot of stuff where for example, let's say this podcast gets massive. If you ever for some reason have to leave, there will be a lot of people that ditch the podcast because
they missed that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right though.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but I think change can be pretty good at times.
It was the same.
This
thing
is my way of telling you that
John
I'm kicking
Tron
you off
left.
of the podcast.
Oh fuck!
It's a terrible
that's
joke.
how it was with John Tron and Game Grumps when he left. They saw a very heavy spike in loss of subscribers, and when they brought Danny on, everybody was like, "I don't like you."
Yeah, of course. There's always a heavy resistance to the new stuff.
The reason to that, and what I kind of dumbed it down to in my head when that happened, was it's not that I don't like Danny. It's that I've listened to the Game Grumps and I've heard Aaron talk to this other voice that does not sound like Danny.
Yeah.
I gave it 2 months. I was completely fine with it, totally forgot that John's voice was the other voice. I'll go back to other videos and they were weird to me then.
Yeah, it's a big shift in perspective.
Sorry. I was going to say, to finish that off, it was especially because Danny came in very strong in the Game Grumps. He came in with some of the best jokes that I think I've ever heard on their series. And they still get highlighted and recommended to me today, even though I watched some of their newer stuff.
Yeah, Danny he's insane. A great comedian, in my opinion.
He's very good. He's intelligent. He's like a wizard of the craft, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
He does dick jokes just right.
Exactly. Just the right amount of dick jokes in just the right way. That's that quality stuff, man. This
episode can be titled, We Talk About YouTube Instead of Games.
I mean, that's fine, because we're technically pop culture, and pop culture at this point in time is like 90% just YouTube. And then like the old vanguard of like pop stars, and I'm not sure vanguard is the right word, but just like pop stars and all that bullshit. I mean, vanguard is the people that go first, sort of deal.
Sure.
So I don't think that's accurate.
I don't know.
It's okay, whatever. But yeah.
Let's talk about one last thing here. We gotta talk about that game you've been playing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Wait, what do you mean one last thing? We have another hour, boy. Another 30 minutes.
We're doing a full hour?
We're doing a full fucking hour. We haven't done a full fucking hour in a while.
Oh, man. Then at 30 minutes, you gotta give me a bathroom break, so tell me about your game.
Well, actually, no, before I do that, I'm gonna cut you off, and you got to talk about the YouTubers that you watch. Now it's my turn.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You asshole. You forgot that we were doing this in turns.
You don't get it.
Get to like 10 minutes. Bus. Alright. But, yeah, I watch a lot of, like, different YouTubers, but I've recently been watching, like, mainly two things. Like, I watch gaming videos and sure, whatever. The majority of the stuff that I've been watching recently is, either cooking videos, which
I know.
I fucking love cooking videos, man. They're really good. And they sometimes you don't learn a lot about them. Like you learn tidbits here and there on how to do stuff. You can hear the sound of I can hear you pouring alcohol into a cup again.
Yes. God. Thank you for explaining what that was.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can also hear the cap screwing.
What other people would have heard that right away and been like, he either just poured something in a cup or he's pissing, and it was not a lot.
Yeah, and he just pissed his pants. Like, god damn it, it's dripping down his leg. That sounds bad. I don't think I'll cut that, actually. I'll leave that in.
That's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I watch a lot of cooking videos. I've been watching Sorted Food, which is...
Is it just random cooking videos, or do you watch something
it's mainly... Like, there's like 3 main channels that I watch. One of them is Trashiness, which is Sorted
Binging
Food.
With Bobbish?
I do watch Binging with Babish.
I knew you watched Binging with Bobbish.
I don't watch it as much anymore, but he's good. He has some great production quality, and he's good.
So knew you would watch him too.
Yeah, I watch that bald fucker.
I have to. It's okay.
Yeah, he has some good stuff. Definitely.
I'm gonna cut you real quick, and I'm gonna remind you. Remember that cooking video you shared with me one time, making meals from Breath of the Wild?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good point.
It popped up again on Reddit in the videos
really?
subreddit, and I was like, okay, I'll watch this one again. I've seen it like 5 times, but I love it.
Yeah, he does. He's got some good stuff.
That guy is funny. He just fucking and then it just comes out great.
Yeah, I don't watch that guy as much, but you're talking about someone else. But
yeah,
I do like the other one that's significantly trashier than Binging with Babish is Sorted Food. That's just these like British guys having like cook-offs and stuff just in between each other, and it's funny.
Is it insane cook-offs of like crazy stuff?
Well, not really. It can be at times, but it's just like kind of them making food.
Something good.
That one is basically my equivalent of food porn because I'm never gonna make anything that they have on their thing. Okay, I have actually tried a couple recipes from the Binging with Babish, and they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're good. And
if we're going with food stuff, have you ever watched Epic Mealtime?
I have, of course I have, but I don't watch them regularly because
like
it's kind of like a bit overdone and exaggerated. Yeah, it's kind of nasty.
Their older shit was like when they had lower production quality, and like when they got to mid-tier production quality, they were at their best, and now it's just kind of like it's like it kind of feels like we've already made our money, so like
Yeah,
here's
just
something.
keep doing, the thing.
I hate saying that because I have a lot of respect for Harley as like a guy who's been on YouTube for a long time, and like there's never been a real controversy with the guy. He just seems like he's probably one of the nicest people, even though in his videos he comes off like a dick, and he tries to.
Yeah.
But like he seems like you would talk to him and he'd instantly just like act like you're his friend.
Sure, those kind of people are pretty fun. Plus, I can call him part of the YouTube Vanguard. That would be accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah, the most recent cooking channel that I've started watching is called Bon Appetit. You've probably seen their videos here and there. They can be a bit clickbaity at times. You might have seen them at some point in your recommended.
I don't get food videos on my YouTube, I'm sorry.
I get a lot of them.
I know, you look at food videos.
I know. The one that I've been watching the most is this lady. And she's basically taking the task upon herself to basically recreate all of these candies. So she'll make a Snicker bar from scratch, or like jelly beans or Twizzlers or stuff like that. And she gets like really frustrated, and they just leave it all in. So it's it's 30 minutes of this lady going, "Why the fuck is this fucking?" And there's a couple episodes because it's very like they do edit a lot of it, but like it's very like honest, because there's a couple of them where she just gives up. She's like, "This is good enough. Fuck it." She just calls it there. And I can feel that so much. I'm
absolutely okay with that. You got to send me some links to her.
Sure, I'll send you some later.
I'll actually watch that.
Yeah, but cooking videos, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
You know what else is good? Me telling you that I really have to piss right now. So
I know, I was waiting for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually going to cut my recording here so it doesn't give you the...
No, don't cut it.
No, fine, but it makes it harder to send if I don't, so I'll leave it, but if there's any issues, that's on you. All motherfucker. Right. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Sorry. I took like an extra 30 seconds to go like pet my cat and let him into my room, but I think he already wants to leave. You can get out here. Just get out then. Yeah, I know you want to like climb up on the thing, but you're gonna go out in like 2 seconds, so fuck it. I don't want to make the noise in the recording.
Alright. And here, we are...
hold on before that. The last time I had my fan on, did you have to do a lot of noise reduction?
I don't know.
I can see it in my recording, but not a lot.
We'll see. It'll probably be fine. I can't hear it over the
I have
mic,
it on low as it can go, but I literally started sweating so hard at about 20 minutes. I'm like, I need to cool down in here, or else I'm gonna be at the end of the podcast like, okay, Adrian, this is cool. It's okay.
It'll be pretty good end of the podcast, though.
I don't think people want to hear that. I sounded like I was dying, or like I was a nerdy kid at the age of fucking 14 with glasses, a pocket protector, a fucking button up, and some fucking tight ass fucking high waisted pants.
Suspenders.
Yes, that too. Call me Steve Urkel. Call me Steve Urkel. Yes, baby.
All right. Well, I guess
that's
we're
the
back.
Beginning of the podcast right there.
I don't know if I'm going to take the time to edit that in.
You should literally make the beginning of it just that.
Okay, the thing is that you say that, but I have like a couple hours here when we're finally done recording to actually edit this thing.
I know, but it'll be fine.
I'll try.
Okay, it doesn't have to. But if the beginning of the podcast says that, I'll be pretty ecstatic.
Yeah.
Now that we're in the second half hour of the podcast, let's talk about stuff.
All right, what stuff?
We were talking about like cooking videos and shit like that.
We're talking about cooking videos. I love cooking videos, man.
I mean, we could keep talking about cooking videos, or we could talk about more cooking videos. So let's talk about cooking videos.
Actually, we could talk about remember the game that I'm trying to get you to play?
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to try and get you to talk about, and then we went on to that.
Yeah, we went on a bit of a cooking tangent, which I'm very happy with.
We're off the tangent now.
Woo! So the game that I'm trying to get Allison to play is called, what was it, Path of Exile?
Path of Exile.
It's pretty popular. If you want, I can tell you, like, because It stayed like in the top of like the free games list for Steam for a couple years now.
Well, that's a lot of Path Exiles.
Yeah, it's basically. I guess I've never played it, so I don't know how I feel about comparing it to this, but it's like Diablo. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just a top-down little view of the character, and it's a very button-mashy game, and it's pretty entertaining. You just grind for better gear and play the game, really. There's a storyline, but I don't give a shit.
What's the storyline?
Oh, you see, it's about this guy, and he gets exiled and stranded on this island with a bunch of monsters.
And he kills the monsters, and then after he kills the monsters, he's done killing the monsters.
Yeah, it's let me.
It's really good. Oh, my forehead is sweaty.
It's in the top 10 for free games in the Steam.
In the Steam. I'm very happy you worded it that way, because it makes more sense that way.
You're welcome. So what else do we have to talk about? Oh, I actually did write a couple things down the other day.
But can I talk about Final Fantasy X?
James Charles.
Can I talk about Final Fantasy X and how this is actually a game that doesn't fit the podcast, because it's totally not a bad game and there's totally going to be no bad language while I talk about it?
Fucking piece of shit.
Final Fantasy X is a big fucking pile of garbage. Good way to start, right?
Yeah.
So you've actually seen me play it a little bit. You kind of understand where I'm coming from a little bit on this game. Like, to me, I've talked about Kingdom Hearts already, and yeah, everybody gets Kingdom Hearts has a fan base that's extremely fucking dedicated to how good it is. Sure.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts fucking sucks. It's a bad fucking game. There, I said it. I still love the game. Suck it dick. Anyway, Final Fantasy X is kind of in that same boat that Kingdom Hearts is for me, where it's a really good game. To me. And only to me. And the other people that feel that kind of a way, but it's not literally a good game. You heard the voice acting. You kind of saw what went on.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
It's an old game, that's how I'd put it. It's not... It doesn't hold up to standards of today. I bet for the time it was revolutionary.
A lot of older games, though. Like, it definitely looks like it's basically like a PS3 game, honestly.
Early PS3.
PS3 game.
Yeah.
But it still looks like it, and the good cutscenes look really good.
Yeah.
And when I say good cutscenes, I don't mean good, like, quality as in, like, the voice acting. I mean, they literally changed the entirety of the engine of the game to do a different visual that they had to edit themselves to just force in as, like, a little 20-second cutscene. But it looks really good for a PS2 game that came out in, like, 2003. Looks better than most Xbox games from fucking 2010 in those cutscenes, and that's it. But, like,
can we rag on Xbox?
Yeah, we will in a minute. So this game, from like what you saw, it's very grindy. You haven't seen a whole lot of it, but it is very grindy. There's a lot of downtime for your brain, not for the game, but like for your brain. You can just sit there and shit just kind of happens. You know, you're like,
you've talked about
attack.
Yeah, you've talked about it like it's a good game to like passively play because it's turn-based and you can just take your time, really.
I could go take a shit for an hour and a half and still be in the same fight without taking any damage, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Wow, oops. Excuse me. That's a lot of bad noises all at once. You're welcome.
Yep. I'm not cutting it out either. The listeners have to suffer.
Deal with it.
Suffer with me. If I have to edit this bullshit, you have to listen to this bullshit.
They're gonna be like, well, you could just edit it better.
I guess so.
I don't care. But, so yeah, it's a very easily passive game to play. Like, I get a lot of people say that with, like, Minecraft, where it's very relaxing, but Minecraft still keeps me in my seat forever to where I, like, have to be there, almost to the point where it's like, it's not relaxing, you know, because I'm constantly thinking of what I have to do. this game I could just sit there and mash X. It's literally playing Pokemon on your Game Boy, but you have a different game with a different story, and it's on a PlayStation. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
It's 100% playing Pokemon. All the people that go, the Pokemon game is the best game ever. You saw the system in this game very turn-based. You get your turn, they get their turn. You get your turn, they get their turn.
Typical
if you have more speed,
game.
If you have a little bit more speed, you get your turn, then you get your turn again, then they get their turn. And, that's also in this game.
Turn-based game.
It's Final Fantasy, it's Pokemon. They're the same fucking game. So,
Speaking of turn-based games, the one topic that I had written down at some point was D&D, which is the OG turn-based game, I guess.
D&D is cool.
Yeah, it's super nerdy, but, let's be honest, just kind of fun, because it's basically like you're doing improv
when I
with,
was,
a bunch of friends.
Anywhere from the ages of 10 upward of about 18, I thought D&D was the gayest fucking shit, and I would never play it a day in my life. I've still never played it a day in my life, but I don't think it's the gayest shit. It's actually pretty cool.
I technically haven't either, but I have been looking into playing some.
It's hard to, get into, I can understand, but it seems like it's so much fun, because you actually just get to play, an RPG game, but you just are the RPG game.
Yeah, you know how games are always about, giving you a lot of choice and whatever. This game, you literally have to have a lot of choices. You're just playing it wrong, kinda. It's completely choice-based.
You didn't roll a 20, you're playing it wrong!
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's, conceptually, because, my sales pitch for it would be, you're playing a pre-written story by the person that's the game mod, or the game master, or whatever. And you have a pre-written story, and you're basically playing with a bunch of friends, and you're gonna improv your way through this storyline. Which is really interesting, and kind of fun.
Yeah, because you can be, whatever you want.
You can be whatever you want.
You can meme in D&D. You can literally meme in D&D.
Really
easily, too.
I think D&D, inherently because of how it's made, it does create a lot of inside jokes and a bunch of funny moments because you're just going off the top of your mind, and it's kind of fun like that.
I feel that the joy that you can get from D&D, or at least the situations that you get, depending on whoever is the dungeon master, what you're going through with whatever story, is very similar to when you play any co-op game that you can play the whole story with a friend. And you both do the same stupid thing at once, and you both start dying laughing over how stupid that thing was. That's D&D in a nutshell, and I think that's the main appeal that a lot of people get, is the joy that they can have playing it. I mean, you see a lot of the stereotype nerdy shit about it being super competitive and people getting all pissy over it. It's not very, unless you're way too into it. It's definitely not like that. It's got to be more about just having fun with your friends and shit.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been
especially
invited
have a good group.
way too many times by a bunch of my buddies that we all do kind of the same stuff to go play D&D, but I always kind of ignore them on it. And
that
I
nerd
probably
shit.
shouldn't have, because it's got to be a really good time, and I bet we'd probably be better friends because of it. We used to play a lot of League together when I played that garbage, and
God.
Yeah, I hate League. It's trash, dude. But they were really good, so they carried me a lot. But
I
same
feel
kind
that.
of deal. It's got to be a really fun time just to be able to be with your friends and also play a game, but you're all together is the thing. That gives you that extra added thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's funny.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
It's a pretty interesting concept overall, and I think we should play it at some point. Don't worry, viewers or listeners. I promise this won't turn into a D&D podcast.
No, we don't.
You
we
have
don't do that.
no idea how many of those there are. Legit, there's so many D&D podcasts.
We could have made a Dark Souls podcast and gotten 4 listeners.
I mean, I don't think that... what would we have even talked about if we made a Dark Souls podcast?
Every possible fucking build and in-depth how they work.
I mean, yeah, but that's boring and it's a dying game.
That's literally all we do, though, whenever we're not recording.
I used to really love making builds, man.
I still do for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's less of me making them, because you would literally make a brand new build every time. Which, I respect that a lot, because that's fucking annoying. I just reallocate whoever I feel like making whatever, as long as they were the right starting class. If they're the wrong starting class, then bet your ass I'm running the game again.
Yeah, definitely. But builds in Dark Souls can be pretty interesting and pretty in-depth, and can have a lot of nuance to them. But also, they're builds in Dark Souls, so it's a lot of number crunching. Oh, what's your scaling? Oh, okay, well that works best with these stats then, and that's the cap for that. Whatever. It's Dark Souls. It's nerdy.
I love Dark Souls.
I do too, man. But like,
it's so frustrating yet so satisfying all at the same time.
It's getting harder and harder to play though. Like people, there's not that many players left on Dark Souls, and the ones that are left on Dark Souls tend to be very, how you say,
this is where I will start to disagree
shitty?
with you finally, because I don't think the game is dying.
Really?
I don't.
Okay.
I think meta level is dying. I think anything above level 80 is dying. I think level 80 is starting to die, but below that is insanity.
Yeah, you're right. There are people that do low-level stuff a lot, but I feel like it's still not that many people. Like right now, I have because I have a low-level build, which I rarely get on.
The Dark Souls 3 subreddit?
No.
You should. The reason I'm saying this, and this is why I'm cutting you off, is every single day there's always a post of this guy who goes, "Oh yeah, me and all my friends just picked up Dark Souls 3. We're all trying to run through it," and there's like a bunch of them constantly.
Really?
And I'm like. I'm sitting there like, wait, what? And a lot of them go, yeah, we just got it for the PS4. I'm like, these are the people I'm killing. These are my friends.
Just don't ever tell them your name.
Oh, never. Even though my name is the same.
Yeah.
Oops.
We're not going to share what our PS4 names are. Just because. No real reason.
If you want to add me, my PlayStation 4 name is Cuckme. CUK_ME. You
can also email him at cuckme@gmail.com. And if you look for his Twitter...
I'm not lying. That's one of my PlayStation names. I just don't use it. Yeah, I used it for Rocket League back like 3 years ago.
God, that sounds like a good name for Rocket League account.
Yeah, because I would go in there, play as the lowest possible level, like the worst of the worst players, and I'd make that my name. And then I would just block everything they did. I wouldn't score on them, I'd just block everything. I'd let the match go all the way to the end. It'd be 0-0 after 5 minutes because I'd block everything. And then I'd just do some weird shit off the ceiling and just be an asshole.
Yeah, I've never played Rocket League. It seems fucking toxic at this point.
Don't.
I won't.
Avoid Rocket League if you can.
Sure.
The only time Rocket League is acceptable is when you and a friend both have a really shitty low-level account and you decide to just go play hoops. Do not play the standard game because it's toxic. Do not play any other game mode competitively because it's toxic. Don't even play Rocket League because everyone who plays it is honestly just a dick is what it seems like.
Okay, now here's the question. What do you think is more toxic? Rocket League or League of Legends?
That is a really tough one, actually. I'm gonna say
only interacted with League of Legends.
Is a bigger played game, so League is more toxic.
Yeah, I can see that being a thing. And not because like bigger games are more toxic, but because it's the type of game that attracts more toxic people and it's bigger.
Yeah, because you know a specific way you could definitely win a strategy, and then there's one guy that does one little counter that can actually beat you. But they like almost no one does it. So that one kid who does it, hate mail.
Yeah, I feel like if you really wanted to like be a big old dick, League is the game to be a big old dick on. Like, it's just a really exhausting game.
If they ever come out with a new kind of Dark Souls PvP-like game, that would be the new one, honestly.
I mean, Yeah.
People get so mad in those games. I do too, but like not... Some people go beyond the levels that I go with frustration in Dark Souls. I get to a point, and then I just stop for a little bit now. Like, I try not to get really pissy or pissed off about it, but I still do on certain things. When the lag is real bad in invasions, I'll get, like, kind of furious. Some kids will spike controllers. They'll fucking slam them and destroy them. And that's $45 to $60.
Yeah,
also,
or in my case,
good luck playing the game afterwards, you know?
I will have you know, my controllers are not broken because I've literally broken them in half. They just came broken out of the box.
Yeah, that's true.
For anyone that was wondering. I'm legitimately thinking I'm just going to play on a PS4 with a fucking mouse and keyboard.
It's viable.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll take longer for that to break at least.
You could go play Fortnite if you do that.
No. How about no?
I have a new build idea that I was going to place inside of Dark Souls, and it was called, the build name was going to be Fortnite Player, and it was going to just be a guy with really gross-looking armor and uses only a pickaxe. That way, whenever people get invaded by me, they go, "Oh, he's a Fortnite player. Oh, great, we're gonna win." And then
you should just name it Fortnite 420.
Fortnite 420.
You think that account name is taken?
69 Fortnite 420.
6969 Fortnite 420 XXX. Okay, on that note, I think we're gonna end the podcast here. God, that was terrible.
That was fucking the best name. 6969 Fortnite 420 XXX.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! And then just like in your player profile, all it says is "I is play the Fortnite 420 Blaze."
And at the bottom, just all caps.
And then his fucking amount of wins, and it's like 7. But it doesn't put in like losses or nothing. Like I've played 5,000 games. I've won 7.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Alright, I think we are actually going to end the episode here, though.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I'm happy ending it here.
Solid place to end it at Fortnite.
Yeah.
6969 Fortnite 420 XXX.
Yeah.
He's better than Ninja.
Of course he is, man. Always. But yeah,
our music is down below. Look at
music is down below. You can reach us on Twitter at BGBL Podcast. Uppercase BGBL, lowercase podcast, whatever. Email is the bgblpodcast@gmail.com. And, you should share it around. Because at this point, that's the only way that we're going to grow.
I want really weird pictures of food. I don't care if you find them on the internet, or if you take the picture yourself, you get bonus points. But please send the email some weird pictures of food.
Don't do that.
If you're not going to send it to the email, send it to my PlayStation, please. I just want weird pictures of food. Send it to Jag on the PlayStation. Figure out how to spell it. You might learn it right.
God damn it. Anyway, yeah, end of the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please share it around because at this point, that's the only way that we're going to grow. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Weird pictures of food. Bye.
Goodbye.